Why are people trying to stop her? She's allowed. What is the issue? What are you studying? Operating as a journalist here is incredibly difficult right now. Is that the Taliban's message? Is he breathing?
He needs to go.
We're in Afghanistan, where the Taliban have consolidated their power, and it looks like they're here to stay. But since the US and its allies withdrew and the Taliban took over, Afghanistan's economy has collapsed. Financial hardships have impacted everyone, even those dreaming of their big day.
It's a massive wedding.
Everyone here is making the best of their situation. But weddings like these are usually reserved for just one couple. Today, it's dozens.
So many people showing up today to celebrate 80 couples tying the knot. And a bit of a bittersweet occasion, I think, because although there's a lot of joy in the room, the reason that they're having these group weddings is because the economy in Afghanistan is doing really, really badly. And so this is all a bit of a cost-cutting exercise. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I have a great feeling today. It was my great aim to experience this day.
More than 70% of Afghanistan is living in poverty.
Right, because traditionally Afghan weddings are very big, very expensive.
Yeah, it is traditionally it's big. That concept wedding party is not suitable for us today.
Economic hardship is what makes weddings like this necessary. A fact that's impossible to separate both from the oppressive Taliban regime, as well as decisions made in America. The scenes of America's chaotic departure under President Biden in 2021 are difficult to forget. But even since then, the US has been responsible for almost half Afghanistan's humanitarian aid. Now, things have changed.
We give Afghanistan about $2 or $2.5 billion a year. Do you know that? For aid. We need aid ourselves.
Earlier this year, Elon Musk took a chainsaw to US government spending. And President Trump's administration then cut almost all US aid going to Afghanistan. Over $1.7 billion in aid contracts suddenly terminated. 500 million of that yet to be dispersed.
Has anyone in the world died because of what Elon Musk did?
Listen,
yes or no, reclaiming my time. If you won't answer, that's a loud answer.
No one has died because of USAID.
Other countries like the UK, Germany and France have also cut back. So what happens to a nation when aid dollars are suddenly gone? We're here to find out. Most Afghans live in rural areas, where 20 years of war with America and its allies was most fierce, and where foreign aid has been critical.
The clinic we're actually heading towards was until just a few months ago funded by the US government. Now that the Trump administration has pulled the funding, a lot of people in this area are left with not even basic healthcare facilities.
The UN estimates that an Afghan woman dies every 2 hours from pregnancy or childbirth. This clinic has now closed.
So this is where women were giving birth?
Yes, this is the only clinic in this area, and now it's gone.
Afghanistan has one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, right? What happens to these women now that the delivery room is gone?
It means that these communities don't have access. It means that women are going to be giving birth at home, meaning more and more children are going to die during childbirth.
We were just talking to the community leaders who were telling us that 7 people have died since this clinic closed. And just a couple of days ago, a woman died in childbirth because there was nowhere for her to give birth.
The woman's neighbours and family told us that if the clinic had still been open and she'd had the support of a midwife, she would have survived. Across Afghanistan, over 400 clinics have closed because of US aid cuts. Millions of people were reliant on these clinics for healthcare. Now, their only option is to travel hours, sometimes days, to public hospitals like this, where there's an influx of new patients. The US was funding doctors, nurses, and essential drugs here, but now that's also gone.
Salam, how are you?
These have the capacity for just one baby, and we have under about 3 babies here.
Yeah, it's crowded.
Yeah, crowded, yeah.
Is this normal?
Not normal. When they cut the ad here, our mortality rate about 3 or 4%.
So 3 to 4% more
Rise to
babies are dying since the US cut their aid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Malnutrition has soared here. 9.5 million people are severely food insecure. Several NGOs previously funded by the US are now turning away many people in desperate need of food. Mohammed Omar has severe malnutrition and meningitis. The family are poor and were only recently able to bring him the long distance to this hospital.
Hi, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Can I ask what your name is? How old is he? What is his situation? What has the doctor said?
In the middle of speaking, we looked over and realized the child had stopped breathing.
Is he breathing? Is he breathing?
He needs CPR.
He needs CPR. Sorry, move. He died? Oh my God.
Mohammed's mother returns to the room, and the most devastating news.
This is just one family of so many thousands of families that are having to live through this, and it's utterly heart-wrenchingly devastating.
It's impossible to definitively blame one single factor for Mohammed's death. He was suffering from a range of serious illnesses. But aid cuts have dealt a devastating blow here. Cancelling aid to Afghanistan has long been a goal for Congressman Tim Burchett.
$5 billion in cash.
Claiming $5 billion US taxpayer dollars have gone directly to the ruling Taliban, a designated terrorist group. But the US government's own watchdog says it's more like 11 million. The vast majority of money goes to those it's intended for.
Are you intentionally misleading the American public when it comes to inflating these figures so that you can get what you want?
No, ma'am, I'm not. As a matter of fact, $11 million is still a whole lot of money to the average American. If it's one penny going to the Taliban, they'll hate us for free.
What would you say to, there are millions of Afghans who are going to be affected by this.
I would say you're going to have to make it on your own.
Hundreds of clinics across the country have now closed down. I literally watched a baby die from malnutrition. What would you say to these families who are living through desperate circumstances, devastated by the results of your actions?
I think it's horrific, but it's not due to my actions. Man, we don't have any more money. We're borrowing that money. And again...
But it is due to your actions. You have been advocating for this for the last couple of years.
No, ma'am. It's not our responsibility. We have Americans in the same position. We have Americans that are having trouble with childbirth. We have Americans going hungry, and you want us to borrow money and send it overseas.
Is there not any moral responsibility, given that the US did fight a 20-year war there?
Ma'am, my responsibility is to my own country and to the district I represent.
With the US turning away, the fate of Afghans is now left in the hands of their own government, the Taliban. who say they're capable of running the country without foreign aid. They denied our requests for an interview. Ruling with an iron fist, the group have increased their surveillance, making it difficult for anyone to speak critically. Whenever someone tried with us, they were abruptly cut off by a minder lurking behind our camera.
Wait, we're talking. Why are people trying to stop us talking? She's allowed. What is the issue?
What are you saying?
No, you don't take a message.
Please let him, please. Please. You're telling him what to say.
The Taliban obviously have a very tight grip on the situation here. A lot of restrictions, particularly for women and girls. And to be honest, even operating as a journalist here is incredibly difficult right now. We know that the Taliban has been tracking our every movement. The GDI have frequently been checking up on us. There's even a directive issued, which means that you're not technically allowed to take any photos or videos of living beings. And so operating freely here is really, really difficult.
With our every move being watched, we spoke secretly on secure lines to many people across the country. Women especially told us their lives are now at risk, both from US funding cuts as well as strict Taliban laws, meaning they can't travel alone, even when they have urgent medical needs. This is the voice of one woman. For 20 years, Afghan women and children were promised progress. But they now live under a Taliban regime that stands accused of carrying out gender apartheid. Basic rights, like leaving the house and going to school, have been stripped away from Afghan women and girls. Their options are increasingly limited.
Assalamu alaikum. What are you studying? So here in the Taliban's Afghanistan, they are still not allowing girls over the age of 12 to attend school in a modern sense. Until recently, USAID have been funding a series of secret schools across the country for girls to attend, but obviously that funding is now dried up. So one of the only options for girls is to attend these madrasas, these religious schools where predominantly the focus is on learning a very strict interpretation of Islamic rules and Islamic principles. Hi. Salam, how are you? You're cramming for exams right now?
Yeah, sure.
And how old are you guys?
I'm 17.
You're 17?
Yeah. I'm 14.
I'm 16. Okay, and you're all in the same class?
Yeah, all in the same class.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I have a lot of dreams. I want to be a surgeon or a translator. I like languages and also like doctors.
So if you want to be a surgeon, what are your options?
Abroad, I guess. No options here.
I wanted to be a doctor in the future, but when Taliban came to Afghanistan and all of the doors of schools.
Will you stay in Afghanistan?
I want to stay. I love my country. I want to stay here forever, but I do also want to study.
Do you think the US has abandoned Afghan girls and Afghan women?
Kinda.
We wanted to speak with the principal of the madrasa. A longtime supporter of the Taliban, he sees nothing wrong with the status of women's rights or girls' education in Afghanistan.
So many of these girls have so many hopes, so many big dreams. How can they hope to achieve them when so much of the curriculum is about learning religious studies and they're not able to go on to higher education, to college, because the Taliban forbids that?
No, زه دا نظریه بالکل را دوام طالبان دا غن لري چې مثلا دوی په دوی باندې کوم محدودیت وي چې دوی د خپل تحصیل ته ادامه ورنکړي.
Because the Taliban have given you the curriculum, what a lot of people who might be watching this will think is that these girls, bright as they are being brainwashed into the Taliban's ideology and that the Taliban is weaponizing education here.
سب دوی منلای دی دوی په دغه نصاب کې په دغه محیط کې په دغه تدریس کې ډیر خوشاله دي خو دلته کوریکولم کې یو څه ستونزې وي کوریکولم کې بعضی مشکلات وو چې هغه کوریکولم داس یو هغه نصاب وو د دوی لپاره داس یو نصاب جوړ شوی وو چې هغه د یعنی د مور لپاره شاید یعنی د اوس
هنر نندارچیانو ته وړاندې کوي.
Perhaps more than anyone, this generation of young Afghan girls are living under a Taliban regime that seeks to largely erase them from all forms of public life. Like so many others, now abandoned by those who once came to their aid. Isabel Young, CNN, Afghanistan.